I didn't think she was going to kill him.
You was giving Jane a little less on the psychometer, okay? I knew she was finna kill him. I knew she was finna. I was like, oh, this that man's last run. Like, welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today is all about Paradise on Hulu. We are discussing season 2, episodes 1 through 3. I am Victoria. I am one of your hosts, and I'm a psychologist.
And I'm Kamaria. I am an attorney and a pop culture writer. So yeah, before we get into this Paradise season 2, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you hit that notification bell, and hype us up because we love talking about these shows, and we hope y'all enjoy it as well. And be in the comments. What are your theories? Because there's a lot of unanswered questions out rip. They're setting up some mysteries for the season to unfold. So to let us know your theories, okay? Let us know your theories. But yeah, overall, how'd you like the opening 3 episodes?
I enjoyed it. At first, I was like, oh, this is moving kind of slow. I'm like, this Annie girl, why are we spending so much time on her? I was about 30 minutes into the episode and was like, what's going on here? But then by the end of the first episode, I said, oh, baby, I'm hooked. I'm hooked. And I went ahead and changed my subscription to the ads to ad free because I was like, I don't need no more disruption. So Paradise, Hulu owes Paradise some awards or something because
an extra
I upped
check.
My subscription. Right. I upped my subscription just so I can be tuned. And I was tired of seeing the Ozempic commercials.
Oh, girl. Yeah, they need to give Sterling K. Brown a little extra off top. I always enjoy watching him. I like the episodes. I like a little backstory. So when they started off, I'm like, okay, well, where's the regular Paradise storyline that we left off at? So I was a little like, okay, they introduced some new characters. Let's bring them in. By the end of the episode, I was like, oh, okay, bring in our regular Paradise characters, you know what I mean? So we can kind of like go back into what we're used to. But I enjoyed the backstory. You know, it was long, you know, but I enjoyed it. And then things kept moving and kept progressively getting quicker and quicker. And so by the end of episode 3, we're back where we were at the end of Paradise season 1. So before we get into like all of the episodes, let's just talk about some of these big things off top. Like Jane, up to no good.
Jane been on my hit list since she offed Billy. Okay.
Girl, I know. I keep wanting them to bring Billy back for real. Like I want like let him not be dead. Like let the medicine not have worked. Like I don't know. Like somebody knew she was doing it. I don't know. I don't know.
One could hope. One could hope, but it ain't happening. It ain't happening. But all we got is these little flashbacks of Billy.
I know. But yeah, so Robinson is suspicious of her. That's a separate storyline. Robinson's kind of like just looking into stuff. Stuff don't add up. And then a separate storyline of Jane actually killing the president. You know what I mean? And then we got Sinatra. So let's talk about all those things before we go really deep into some of the backstory. What is Jane? Like, what is she? Like, I need some backstory on Jane.
Yeah. I don't, it's so crazy. When the episode first opened up, I thought it was a backstory on Jane. I thought this was Jane's backstory. I was like, oh, we get into Jane. Either that or Sinatra, but I was like, who is this? But it was a new character. But yeah, I was so confused because I feel like I went back and I watched our recap for season 1, and my theory was that Jane wanted to become Sinatra. Like, Jane is looking for power. And so I'm still kind of holding on to this theory because it's like, Jane, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like you shoot Sinatra and then you tell Sinatra when she wakes up, I did it to make sure you were safe, right? And then we see you are killing the president, you framing people. It's so much going on with Jane, and I don't understand why, truly.
Yeah. It's almost like she has a master, but who is your master? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, what are you doing it for? I thought she was about to go, when she was running with the president, I thought she was about to be like, look, stop real quick. You're my bitch, and you may not realize it, but you're about to do everything I need you to do. That's what I thought she was going to do. I didn't think she was going to kill him.
You was giving Jane a little less on the psychometer, okay? I knew she was finna kill him. I knew she was I was like, oh, this that man's last run. Man, slow him. Jane is Jane. Jane
Yeah.
is
But I'm like, I'm trying to understand. Like, I thought she wanted the power and wants to do something with the power, but she doesn't want to be the face of the power. That's what I was thinking. So I'm like, if you're killing all of these people, what's the end goal, Jane? You know? So I need them to give me a little bit of
Sinatra to become the president.
So Sinatra can be her patsy, like her person that her puppet.
Yes,
I suppose so. You know, I guess that's what it is. Maybe girl, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, because the girl is phenomenally crazy.
Right. What does she want with Sinatra even in power? It's like, does she just want power? Like, I'd like a little backstory on Jane. That's what I would like, you know. Love Paradise is doing good. You know, we're here. Paradise season 2. But a little backstory on Jane would be nice. Because
I feel like she's gonna be the last person that we get backstory on because she's such a complex character. And I, on the Robinson piece of it all, I was sitting there thinking, like, sometimes I just wish that black woman itch was just a little stronger. I needed her to be like, you know what, it's something here, but I got to be careful.
Yeah.
I need to be careful.
Yeah.
You are basically announcing in text messages that you are trying to figure out what's up, that you're trying to figure like something. And even when she scanned her head, I'm like, girl, it's going to go back to you that you looking up these files. Why are we looking up the files on the computer?
When she had them paper files, I was like, this is safer.
Yeah, no, that was safer. But it was nice that it was connecting Jane's statement of Billy to things that she was finding in the house. Like, it said that he had nothing to live for, but you see that he got this engagement ring. No, he clearly was ready to propose to you. Yeah. So he definitely felt like he had something to live for. He wouldn't have did that.
And then he got a bench press. She talking something he had shoulder pain.
Right. Yeah.
Either way, the thing I was thinking about was like, y'all make sure y'all believe black women, okay? Because she had it. She was the only one that's suspicious. And I was like, also, okay, shout out to the natural queen doing her, her natural hair this season. But yeah, it was unfortunate. I was also like a little mad that like she out here getting driven around because she did what?
Because she was the person who quote unquote stopped Xavier. So I think it made Jane go up in rank. But why Robinson went down a rank and Jane had to put in a good word for that to be her position?
Because it's because Robinson was helping Xavier. They were part of the folks who were like, trying to overthrow the government. Yes. Yeah, basically.
Yes.
And get that or do whatever they were trying to do.
But yeah, back on this whole like Jane and Robinson thing, I do wonder if because Jane knows that Robinson was trying to help Xavier overthrow the government, if she felt like I need to keep Robinson close to me just in case, because she might blow the whistle on some shit, and I felt like even you mentioned like the natural hair thing, I felt like that was like a signal of like we're waking up, like we becoming woke, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they didn't just
beating the systems of oppression around here.
Because they didn't even just like let it just be a character shift without explaining it. It was like she had plugged in the curling iron and then she had the towel on her head and she was just like,
"Look, we ain't doing
the next
this today."
thing we saw,
yes, and then that courage came. You know what I'm saying?
I know. That's why I know the
natural hair. You start becoming more powerful. Your hair start. We see it growing to the side and get you them connectors, them antennas.
Look, I ain't got time.
You start to see things a little different. That third eye is opening up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what that was giving. And so I was like, I wonder if Jane had her in this position to keep her close because she knew she would be that one. And with Xavier being gone. And with her being the other person that knows that Jane is the one who shot Sinatra, but she was also in the room when Xavier said, "I will take the fall. Like, just throw it on me." And so that's what I felt like that's what that was about. But I would, like I said, I was just wishing that Robinson was just a little bit more careful. As soon as she was wondering, like, how did you know to go there? Not to mention, you shot this lady with perfect aim to the point where
Yeah.
she's not dead. She was in a coma and now she's fine. So you knew exactly where you were shooting. And Jane has done a good job of making herself seem like she's this brainless, thoughtless intern type
Yeah.
person when she's smarter than, she comes off to be.
I wonder, like, Robinson was always asking questions that were sounding suspicious. And if you're Jane, like when she was like, "How'd you know to be there?" And she's like, "I don't know. I just knew." And it's like, if you have to on your feet come up with answers that are like, bitch, you could have found out, if I hadn't had a good answer to it, it probably makes you more suspicious or more wary of the person because you're like, they may be on to me or they may be smart enough to figure it out because they ask smart questions,
Right. Yeah.
So,
Agreed. Agreed. But yeah, I mean, it all came right into a little package,
mhm.
She gets framed and Jane puts on the tears. I was like,
Mm.
what an ode to society.
Oh, this is what I was about to say. I forgot. Why though is Robinson going to, like, what was she about to do? Go to Jane and confront her? Like, why she put where Jane at? Where Driscoll at in the chat? And they say she doing the presence detail. Like, what are you about to do, girl? You like what's happening? You know what I'm saying? You gonna go confront her? Like,
That's what it was given.
yeah, and it's like that's not a smart plan. Okay. I needed her to have, like, when you said the black woman, like suspicion or whatever. She need to have a plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think she was operating on like Jane is smart, but not that smart. And that's where you got tripped up. You know what I'm saying? And you missed it when I said it, but I was like, what an ode to society that she frames Robinson and then she puts on these tears.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with that. Do we want to get into Sinatra a little bit before we go into the backstory of some of these newer characters? Sinatra is all well and good. I can tell she was pretending that she didn't remember or what, because she looked at Jane very knowingly. But I guess it's also kind of like they have this undercover connection that maybe she would be looking at her knowingly.
Yeah, it was definitely giving. Like, I know you did it. And Jane is saying, I did it, but I did it to protect you. And this is the actual story because she was knocked out for a month. So I think that was a catch up conversation and a confirmation conversation of like, what's the story and how are things being played out now? Like, now that I've been gone, more so than bitch, this is the story and you better not say nothing else. I don't think it was that.
It was given that to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The only reason why I say that is that when she shot her last season, she did say, "You're no good to me if you're dead." So it's giving that she has the real power in that situation and that Sinatra's just her puppet. I don't know though, I don't know.
I don't know. It keeps going back and forth. And it went back and forth for me in this third episode because it was like, why is this girl going to go off the president who was just questioning Sinatra, Unless Jane is looking at it as the president is in Sinatra's way, which is going to be in my way.
Yeah, probably that. But they had Sinatra up in that lie detector chair, and Dr. Tarabi, though, the psychologist, she was asking her, like, are you trying to overtake the bunker for your personal gain? And then she kept saying no. She's like, oh, it's showing that she's truthful, and they're getting upset. But I'm like, you got to take off that for her personal gain shit, because that's probably how she's technically lying, but technically telling the truth. Because she's probably doing it because she thinks that's the only way to survive or whatever. I don't know. She thinks she's doing it for everybody or her way of doing it is what's best for everyone. So who knows? But I'm not understanding how she asked that question that way. It's like, girl, maybe that's...
As a psychologist.
Yeah, because I was like, as a lawyer, I was looking at it like, girl, you asking you. This is a very specific question. You
she made it so close ended. You got to open it up just a little bit,
Yeah. So who knows all of that? But they're intense, or
Yeah, and the episode ended off again with the whole Alex conversation, but we see that Dr. Tarabi is listening in on Sinatra's conversations through that picture that she gave her of them. So,
and I guess they have some sort of like, well, I guess we already knew that they have this relationship that is it's not quite a friendship, but it's like something personal.
Yeah.
And so that's how she's even in the home. They've got this old picture,
Mhm.
all that good stuff. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's that. Those are the big things. Anything else on the big things before we get into some of these new characters?
Nope. So yeah, so
Mhm.
let's get into our new characters. We have Annie and Link. Annie, who is played by Shailene Woodley, and Link, who is played by Thomas Daughtry. I think they both did a phenomenal job. Let me just say that. I think
Huh.
they did excellent. And yeah,
Yeah, I
like I
feel
said in the beginning, oh, go ahead.
now I'm about to say, yeah, I feel like I've seen her somewhere before. I should IMBD her because I feel like
Yeah,
I've
she
seen
been
her before.
she's been everywhere, and this is
Oh
like
yeah.
her jam. This is what she thrives in, these type of shows and things like that. But she's been in Divergent, The Fault in Our Stars,
I've not seen these.
Big Little Lies.
Not seen any of these. Was
Uh,
she in Lovecraft Country?
no,
She looks like the white girl who was the one who the girl stole a body from. She stole her body and made the
no,
black
that's
girl her.
yeah,
That's not
yeah,
her?
no. Mm-mm.
Mm.
She's in a few things, but this is like her jam. This slow moving
Mhm.
romance, a little bit of mystery,
Mhm.
suspense. Like this is her thing. Those
Mhm.
slow emotional builds. I feel like she plays those types of roles very well.
They also had Angel from Give Me One
Yes,
Margarita. Give me one
yes,
margarita. Is that her name, Angel?
yes, yes. And she
Okay,
wasn't
okay,
in there
okay.
long enough for me.
Yeah,
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 up there in
no.
that Elvis Presley house.
I know, and the Elvis Presley house itself was a little triggering because I'm like, Elvis and black people, I don't know about if they mix, you know. I'm not even playing with you. Research, do your research, people. But either way, their story kind of starts off where they just flat rewind us back to the start of this explosion and, people taking cover. And she and Angel's character, Gail, were together at the Elvis Presley house and got stuck and ended up having to bunker down. She died
Mhm.
and she had just been there by herself for it said like
2 years.
689 days. I said, girl,
Yes.
she would have been a little stir crazy, I think. Well, a little more stir crazy than she was. Like a little bit like talking to herself, some shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah, in real life, yes, but I think they set up her story where she just had all this trauma and loss to the
That this
point
was
where
just
it was.
another thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
this was just another thing, baby. This was just another thing, and it
Yeah.
probably calmed all them little voices and things down that she was stirred up with.
Yeah, no, that's facts. So yeah, that's her story. She has a medical background, and so I think that's gonna come in handy throughout all of the things that happen because she's gonna be able to fix the people who get broken, such as Sterling K. Brown's character, Mr. Collins.
Yeah. And so while Annie is bunkered down in Elvis Presley's home, Link and his crew, they come and they find her. Something that I thought was really interesting. One of the people that was with Link, I can't remember. I think it was the black guy. No, because the black guy came in saying that he had the planting and the growing skills. But
Mm.
one of them said basically the people who have been able to survive are the people who have some sort of skill. And like everyone who has left has some smarts. And so I think that is like the biggest connection to everyone who was down in the bunker right now.
Mhm.
Whether it's like you said, Annie with the medical career, Link, we find out later through the storyline that he is the protege of this guy who owned the company that is the energy life source that's happening down in the bunker. And so it's like, yeah, everybody got some type of connection. We coming together and it's brewing a little bit. But Link, his character was interesting. I was trying to figure out did Sinatra know nothing about him? Because if he was the owner or co-owner
Yeah.
of the business, I'm like,
Yeah.
why he didn't make it to the bunker? Why he didn't make it to Colorado?
Well, I noticed that at the bar that the guy had said that he had a partner. And so
Mhm.
I was like, my little legal brain, I'm like, technically, if he got a partner, like they can't sign that over, okay? He needs to
Right.
like she don't own the company. Because he can only pass what he owns, his shares. And so I don't know if that's gonna come back in or what, but they live in a lawless land anyway, down there in the dome or whatever
Right.
it's called. What is it called? The bunker?
Paradise Child. I don't know.
Yeah, they living in lawlessness. It ain't no. They gonna. I was suing you, bitch. I'm
Right.
the
They're
law
making
now.
rules as they go.
Yeah. So I don't know how that's gonna be treated or if that's gonna come back up, but it feels like they raised it as a significant thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be nothing, but who knows?
Yeah, and then something else that happens is Link and Annie, they end up I knew Annie was gonna get pregnant, by the way. I'm like,
oh yeah,
I had so many questions, but I'm gonna get back to their little love story. But Link, he told Annie that he feels like there is life underground in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
She seems like she was suspicious of it all. Like, yeah, please, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But while he was trying to get Annie to come with them as they were leaving, we hear the older guy, I can't remember what his name was. Let me know in the comments. But he's like, no, we have a plan. We need to get to Colorado and you need to kill Alex. So the biggest question I think that we're left with is, who is Alex?
Yeah.
What is Alex?
Yeah, and it's a question about, is it the guy's wife? You know what I mean? Because that's the only Alex that was mentioned.
Right.
Or what? Like,
yeah,
what
and the guy being Henry Miller, that is the guy who
owned the company.
Who owned the company, who was shot by Billy. But yeah, child, we don't know who Alex is. We, like you said, the wife was the only time we heard Alex connected to a person. And even then I was like, was he actually talking to an Alex, or is Alex this idea and he was just saying goodbye to the idea of Alex, or is Alex the wife? And did he actually kill the wife? Did he off the wife with whatever he pumped into her, or did he just sedate her long enough for Billy to leave?
Yeah, no, you know what? He probably did just sedate her because, like, he didn't say that she was disabled and bed bound, and so it feels like that could have been his plan. He's smart, you know what I mean? He saw him on the porch, he egged him on, you know what I'm saying? It seemed like there wasn't just a roll over and die. It seemed like, I have something I'm doing, even when he signed the paper and he left, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so putting his address on there, I was like, this is a little crazy.
Yeah.
He luring him in.
Yeah. So I think there's something to this, and I don't know what, but there's something to it. And that at the end, when Sinatra is asking about, is Alex, what does she ask? Is Alex
okay? To the maid, and the maid was like, Alex is fine. So we don't know, based on the way everybody else is talking about this Alex. Is it a male? Is it a female? Is it it? Like, what's happening here?
And I know that this maid, when she came in, I thought, like, is she a Secret Service? What is she? But I know she's something, because she talking like she she knows stuff. So she's something. Yep. She's somebody. But yeah, do we want to flip back though to Link and Annie and their love story? I was like, oh, this is cute. And then when she cried, I was like, oh, this is endearing. And I was like, I guess this would be how, if you have not had human touch, just period, in 2 years, this is probably how you would break down like that. But I knew they was gonna get together from the beginning.
Yeah, from the very beginning, they was giving each other them eyes. But I definitely was thinking, she had that armpit hair. I'm like, are we brushing the teeth? Is the cooter cat washed? What is happening here? We just
come on. Armpit hair, that's just armpit hair. I'm not trying to say that's where the way I walk around or anything like that.
Yeah, I know, but
that's not
they showed it like
watching.
This is
because she can't shave.
It means, yeah, I know, but if you can't, why you can't shave? You ain't getting no.
She doesn't have a razor.
I know she doesn't have a razor, but I was just thinking about, like, if everything is shut down, do they have actual running sources? Because I was thinking, how y'all get this cooking going? Did y'all clean? Where is everything?
Yeah.
2 years later that y'all was able to cook.
Yeah, I was liking this aspect of it, because it reminds me of Walking Dead. Walking Dead is one of my top 10 favorite shows. I love a little end of the world, what we gonna do, how we gonna operate, how we gonna live. And it was just giving me that, like, they just, it's not everything shut off, but they just doing what they can when they can do it. I am also a Walking Dead fan that stopped after, and folks who are fans know when I stopped. I stopped watching at a certain point. But anyway, because I don't claim the seasons after a certain point. But anywho, anything else on the love story? Or like, what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, it'll just be interesting how it wraps up. We don't know. I mean, Annie, she sees that there is a plane crash, so she goes to it to see what's up. She finds Xavier, which, like you already mentioned, is going to help with his healing journey. But at the very end, she's like, you ain't going to Atlanta. You taking me to Colorado. One, because I need to see my man, and his baby is finna come.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm unclear, though, as to how she heard the crash, but she got there so much later. But whatever.
Well, remember he told her, like, she had the telescope so she can see super far.
Oh, yeah.
True, and remember he told her that was like a danger zone. And so I think she knew, like, oh, that's where.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
Like, what's going on over there? That's not where anyone is supposed to be. And there's somebody flying into here. So she probably thought, like, this person might have some resources. Lo and behold, she meets Xavier.
Okay. Next Paradise storyline. Let's get into Xavier and his wife. They give us a little backstory. Like I said, I like a little backstory. They did OD on the backstory. I'm sorry. But
I enjoyed this backstory. I did. I enjoyed it because it was definitely given. I'm going to fight hard for my wife. I'm going to the end with my wife every day. He said, anything yet, baby. He's not giving up on her. And I loved that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Sterling plays a really good, just nice husband. He just, in every role I've ever seen him in, he plays a good, nice husband. And he's not even somebody, I'm going to just say, if he wasn't the inside of who he was, I would not be super attracted to him. But I am. He's just such a nice, good character he plays every single time. And he seems like he's like that in real life. And so I'm like, okay, Black Love. Like, he's over here giving her, just pursuing her. It was nice. It was a nice little backstory.
Yeah, I loved it. And when she finally opened her eyes, she was like, is this what you do for me all the time? Like, yes, baby, I come here and I'm consistent. And I make sure you have what you need. And I'm going to put it in a certain order so it's easy for you. I loved everything about it. I was over here like...
Yeah, no, like I said, I maybe I'm gushing over Sterling K. Brown, but I just think he's really great. Everything he presents is great. Like, so I hope for much success for the show, mainly because of him,
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so we see kind of like the persistence that he has in pursuing his wife. Terry is the same persistence he's bringing to finding Terry. And he gets on this plane. The plane crashes. He think he close to Atlanta. Far from it. And like we said, he is found by Annie. Now, what I was a little tripped up is over these kids. I'm like, how the kids done figured out how to survive, baby? And then they stole his stuff and just left him there. They patched him up and said, sorry, we're out. Deuces.
Yeah.
It was mute the whole time.
Yeah, now that, at first I was like, how all these kids quiet? But then I was like, maybe it's just trauma. Like, they're all experienced trauma, and maybe that's like realistic that they would just be like that right now, because it's a lot of trauma. But what is that? What is the show that it's like a cult classic? Is it The Goonies? Like, what is it? Is that the show?
The Goonies is a movie.
A movie, and it's the kids are lost or something like that. Okay, yeah, it gave me that.
Yeah,
but I assume they're gonna come back into the picture somehow, somewhere. I don't know. Maybe not even now. They might do a thing like, not to keep bringing up The Walking Dead, but certain characters who were only in season 1 and then boom, pop back up like in season 6, you know what I'm saying? Pop back up in season 7 or 5 or whatever. And these kids would be like teenagers then, And so I wonder what they're going to do with these kids, if they're going to have an active role to play, or later on pop up if the series, if Paradise gets, renewed in multiple seasons and stuff like that.
I can see that. See that. One thing, I can't remember in season 1 if Xavier had told Jane that he would take the fall for shooting Sinatra.
Yeah.
I don't think that happened. I think that was new. He did?
Oh, you mean like whether we knew that back in
in
season 1 of Paradise, or if that came in. I thought I saw it in either a recap or we saw it now. So I don't know if it came in season 1.
Yeah, I know we saw it now, but I just wasn't sure if that was like new information to us as watchers. But either way, in doing that, right, Xavier is this person who's now escaped, and so I'm wondering when he returns how this is going to play out for him, because now like there's this large case against the fact that he has turned against the people. You know, you got his kids, well, the ex-president's son going around putting X's on stuff in honor of him and things like that. But at the same time, you got Jane putting X's on dead bodies. So,
I mean, she probably wanted to frame it as somebody like the murder as someone who was trying to avenge Xavier.
Yeah.
Killing the president. That's what I'm thinking. So let's get into the kids and Jeremy, Presley. And there's some connection. Like you mentioned that before we were about to record, that like Elvis Presley, the girl's name is Presley. Like, before we get into that, what you think is with that?
I don't know. I was just like, there's so many little connections that I was kind of like, oh, okay, that's, you know, because they kept showing that picture. He kept saying Presley. I was like, oh, wait a minute. The girl was just at Elvis Presley house. That was odd to me. Everyone getting nosebleeds was odd to me. So I don't know. It's just like, I think there's a lot of things that are going to come back to the surface. This whole like quantum physics thing is clearly a big thing because Link is the only person who knows about this and killed Henry Miller, the guy who owned the company. So I'm like, everybody got some type of connection. Everybody finna be coming back some way, somehow.
Yeah. But then the kids, they're kind of doing their own little revolution. The president's son, Jeremy, is kind of all his friends that he said all of them getting snatched. We saw a couple of them. And then the president, before he was killed, he was out here fussing at the scientist guy who ended up being locked up with Jeremy at the end, and he throwing people into jail. It's like they just.
Well, I think everybody being in jail, because I think now Robinson's about to be in jail because she's about to be framed for killing the president. It's like everybody who's being the revolutionaries in this, they're coming together, and of course they're gonna believe Xavier, and so now you're gonna have Xavier with Annie. Annie is, of course, linked to Link. And I feel like everybody's going to come together and figure this out. And it's not going to be good for anybody. That's how I'm hoping the season ends. Like, we're getting to like, the formulation of everybody coming together and it's like, F this. Like, y'all doing too much.
But the thing is, it's interesting about this show that's different from The Walking Dead, as I've mentioned a bazillion times. But the difference with Paradise is that The Walking Dead had a continuous monster. All the zombies, everybody who continued to die. Like, it was just like continuous, right? And so you always had a never ending storyline, right? Here, if they defeat them this year, like, what's the show, you know? But then also, how do they string us along for, you know, I'm just like, I'm wondering where they're gonna go with this season. It's a great show. I enjoyed the first season of Paradise, and I enjoyed these 3 episodes, and I think it'll be super fun every week. They're gonna leave us on a cliffhanger, and then we're gonna all have stuff to talk about. But I do wonder how they're gonna move this show forward, because it is interesting that they have it such a finite world
ending,
you know,
like, and the ending that we can see. I mean, and the other scientist that in the flashback before they started building that was talking to Sinatra said the only thing that's going to fix this is time. Like, at some point Earth is going to get so hot, it's going to be a lot of pressure, and it's going to kill everything that stayed alive. Like, everybody who has survived is going to feel great, oh my goodness, but at some point doomsday there's still another doomsday, you know, that's coming.
So do you think the quantum physics, because I don't know a ton about the quantum physics, but I feel like I had an ex one time, if I thought I remember him correctly, that it's almost like this butterfly effect sort of thing, like all these things, all these worlds happening at the same time. And I wonder if they're going to, if this world, like is there gonna be another world that, like, you know what I'm saying, like,
I don't know. It's something that, because we know Sinatra knows about this, right? Because a scientist told her. And then you got the only other person that possibly understands this at a scientific level is
It's
Link.
yeah, that's what I say, Link.
Yeah. And so I'm like, or Alex, you know?
Yeah.
Right? Like
in my mind I was calling Link Alex, but yeah. Any of these three characters, yes.
Right. And so it will be interesting to see. I don't know, like, is she sucking up the power because she knows the second Doomsday is coming and they only prepared for the first? And now they're like, no, we need to get the second one going because if Earth is getting hot and all this pressure is happening, I'm going to assume it's going to crush the dome. Like, I don't know if the dome is going to survive that.
Yeah, I have no clue. But yeah, they got us a lot of questions to kind of start off. Anything else on this episode?
I think the only other final things that I was kind of wondering about was Xavier's wife. We see that she has her doctorate in cell molecular organismic biology. And so again, like I was saying, with like all of these people getting together, it's like they're going to have the formula to actually save the world versus whatever it is that Sinatra is doing. And so I'm wondering how these two opposing teams, right? Like what's going to happen with this. I also thought it was interesting. Link, he has all those scars on his back. I was like, what's up with these scars? Or it was just like one scar, but it was like down his back and he had a lot of bruising. So I was wondering what was up with that. And if there's
maybe that's related to the wife's. Oh, is that what you were to say?
Yeah. I was like, is there any connection with this whole thing with like the spine? So yeah, I just feel like there's so many things out there that's like, they're small and they kind of just drop in there like little nuggets that it's like, you got to like be watching intently to like see all these things and like really sit and mull over it, which is part of why I love these type of shows. But yeah, I think those are my last few thoughts. What about you?
One of the things with Sinatra being a billionaire, I was like, this girl is a billionaire. It's like, this matters. It's modern day society.
Yeah.
If the end of the world happens, like, some of these billionaires really might be the ones predicting and determining how we're effing living. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was an interesting thing because I was like, how did she get this thing started? It's like, she just did it. She just had the money to do it, you know? So that was
But also it's intimidating the people who are smart into making your idea happen, no matter how much it actually harms the earth. We are literally living in it now. Like you have these big ideas and you bring in all of these super smart people and you...
And the money, the capital.
Yeah, you villainize their intelligence into this.
Yeah. So that was one thing. And then the other thing that was just random was just, I was like, oh, not the president being such a small man complex. Like, he was just like, I am the president. I am you.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. Okay. And Jane just, that's how you got killed, okay? Because Jane just like, oh, I thought you were great. Just played to your ego, played you like a fiddle. Psh, psh. Got you. Now you did, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's how we're going to end this episode, just like that episode ended.
Right.
So if y'all have theories or anything like that, put it in the comments. Let us know. Hype us up. We'll be back weekly with Paradise recaps. So like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can catch us. And we'll see you next week. Bye.